Now, let's look at the next example of independent events over here. Now, there are a bunch of information in this question, but let's extract out all the information one by one, and we will understand what's going on over here, okay? So the first thing, they say City and United, they are both football team, all right? So the probability that City wins, okay, the probability that City wins their next match, it's 0.8, okay? Let's stay with that first, okay? And then the probability that United win their next match, it's 0.6, okay? And then this line over here says they are not playing each other in their next match. Okay, so which means City is playing with another team, United, they are playing with another team. They are not fighting, they are not competing together. So this sentence over here, it's a hint that tells you that these events are independent. Independent. Oops, sorry. Okay, so this sentence over here is telling you that the events are independent, okay? None of the outcome over here are affecting their probability. All right, so let's see. So the first one here, I think this is quite straightforward. Both teams wins their next match, okay? So we can also rephrase this by saying City wins and United win. Oops. Right? Both teams wins their next match. We can rephrase this as City win and United win. Okay? And in our previous example, we have already understood the meaning of n probability. That's going to mean multiplication. So the probability of City wins, that's 0.8. And probability that United win, it's 0.6. Multiply both of them together, you should get 0.48. Okay? Alright, the first one is quite simple. But let's look at the second one now. Okay? The second one now says that City wins, but United does not. So again, we can rephrase this sentence by saying, so we are interested in finding the probability of City wins and United lose. Alright, which means they don't win, right? So what's my probability over here? So what can we extract out from this information? We know that there's a word n over here. We know that we have to multiply. That's one thing. City wins is already given in the question, which is 0.8. But what about United lose? Okay, United lose is not given in the question, but we can actually find out from the information itself. Okay, because let's take a look at United. So in a game, so there are two outcomes, all right? You either win or lose the game, right? Win or lose, right? So again, the outcomes are mutually exclusive, right? Okay, so we know that if United wins, it's 0.6, which means the probability that they will lose, okay, if win is 0.6, the probability they will lose is gonna be 0.4, right? Okay, because how do I know this? I can take the maximum probability, which is 1, minus this one, I will get 0.4. That's how I get it. Okay, so the probability of United lose is going to be 0.4. Okay, or I can write it as 1 minus 0.6 lah. Okay, that's how I find out this information, which is 0.4. Okay, so by calculating that, all right, 0.8 multiply this one, which is 0.4, I should get a probability of 0.32. Okay, so that's how we do this lah. Now let's look at the next one. Okay, the next one says United win, but City does not. Okay, again, we can rephrase this as United win. Okay, this is very self-explanatory. Okay, and City lose. Okay, and City lose. Okay, so United win, we already know what's the probability. That's 0.6. So we're gonna put that down first. The word and I know means multiplication. What's the probability of City lose? Okay, again, it's not given the question, but we can find out based on our understanding of probability. So again, in a match, you either win or lose, right? They are mutually exclusive. So to find the probability of lose for City, it's going to be 1 minus 0.8, right? 1 is the maximum probability. I minus off with the probability of win, I will get the probability of lose, which will give me 0.2, right? Okay, so of course, I can write down here, oops, sorry, 1 minus 0.8. Correct or not? Okay, then you can simplify. We already know it's 0.2, okay? So 0.6, okay, multiply with this, which is 0.2, should give me 0.12 over here. Okay, all right? And finally, neither team wins their next match. So neither team wins. How do we rephrase this? We can rephrase this by saying, okay, or we can say this by City lose and United lose. Okay? So what are the probabilities over here? What's the probability of City lose? We have already find out over here. That's going to be 0.2. Multiply with United lose, that's going to be 0.4, which will give me 0.08. Okay, which will give me 0.08. Alright, that's how we do this question here, right? So you need to always understand can we extract information out from here and utilize it, okay, in your question. Now I'm going to give you one more bonus question over here, all right, which I'm going to write over here, E. So I want you to work out, all right, the probability, okay, that either team win at least once. Okay? So over here, I have a bonus question for you to find out the probability of either team wins at least once. Okay? Now this is actually quite a tricky question, alright, if you don't if you find it hard to understand, right? Because you can't make it like so obvious like this anymore, alright? So with this, okay, it will be very helpful. It will be very helpful for you to construct out a tree diagram so you can see a big picture of what's going on. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw a tree diagram, alright? Okay, with this information over here. Okay, I'm going to do a tree diagram. So again, how do I start? What is the information I have? I know, based on the question, I have two teams over here, which is City and United. So I'm going to have a column, alright, a column to represent City and another column to represent United. So I have City over here, and I have United over here, okay? So over here, when City play, they have two outcomes, right? It's either they win or lose. So I'm gonna start from the middle over here. So I'm gonna break two lines because there are two outcomes here. So it's either they win or they lose, right? Okay. So if let us say City wins their next match, all right? So what about United? Okay, they have their chance of winning and losing as well, right? No matter what's the result of City get, correct? So over here, I'm going to break out to two more branch over here, right? No matter what is the result that City got, United also have a chance to win the game or they lose the game, okay? So same thing over here, right? If City loses, right, United also have a chance that they will win or lose the game. All right. So what are the outcomes we see here, right? So that I'm gonna write here. I'm gonna write my outcome. So the outcome over here, all right, is gonna be both team win, all right? And we have already calculated earlier. Both team win, so I'm gonna write win and win. Okay, both team wins lah. And the second outcome here is City wins, all right? City wins and United lose. The third outcome over here, City lose and United win. And the final outcome here, both of them lose. All right, so I'm going to write lose and lose over here. Okay, all right. Now, before I go through this question, just a quick recap of tree diagram. Let's input all this probability inside here. Okay, so again, if we look at over here, the probability of City wins is 0.8. So I know if this is 0.8, this is automatically 0.2 because we know that the maximum probability is always 1. This plus this is 1. The events over here are mutually exclusive, right? So same thing over here. United win based on the information is 0.6. So automatically I know over here it's going to be 0.4. Again, they are mutually exclusive, right? 0.6 plus 0.4, that's 1. Okay? So this will be the same as well. Alright, now back to the question. Now, in the question, you see this word over here. Either team. Okay? Do you notice that they didn't specify what team they are asking you to find? Right? They said either team over here. So which means it can means City win or United win. And the requirement here is they win at least once. Right? At least once means they must win a minimum of 1 time. Right? They must win a minimum of 1 time. So let's look at our outcome over here. So which one do you think satisfied this condition over here? So let's look at the first option. So the first option, okay, we notice that both of the team wins, all right, City wins and also United win. So the question is either team win at least once, right? So they win at least once, they win at least once. So we are going to include this over here. All right, we're going to include this probability over here. Okay, but is that all? All right, is that all? Is that all the outcome? No. Either team, right? Let's look at the second one. Either team wins. So it can be City or United. So in this case, City wins. Either team, all right, at least one. So we know that City wins over here while United lose. Okay, so this one, we know that either team win at least one. City wins over here. So we're including this as well. The last one over here, this one we will be including as well because either team win at least one. So in this team, we know that United wins. All right. And the last one here, we will not be choosing. All right. We will not be choosing. Okay. Because this team, no team wins, right? So because we want either team wins at least once. So we are interested in this 3 probability over here. So what we're going to do? So before I show you, I'm going to write down this first. Okay, my probability we have already calculated over here. So this is going to be 0.48, 0.32, 0.12. Okay, and this one is 0.08 lah. Huh? Okay, so again, this outcome over here, 1, 2, and 3, satisfy this condition over here. So what am I going to do with all this probability? I am going to add all of them up. Alright? Because all these 3 probability add together is the probability that either team wins at least once. Right? Okay? So again, why are we adding? Remember when we talk about this, if you look at a tree diagram, if you look straight down like this, they are mutually exclusive, right? They can add up the probability. So same as over here. Okay? So what I'm going to do over here for this question, all right, the probability that either team win at least once is gonna be 0.48 plus 0.32 plus 0.12. Okay? And that should give you an answer of 0.92. So that is the chance, okay, that either team will win at least once. Okay, either team will win at least once. Okay, now this is not the only way that you can do it. Okay, you can also do it in a shortcut way, which is faster. So you know that we are interested to find this probability, right? So what is another way that we can do to find this answer over here? Okay, an alternative way we can do is just take the maximum probability. You know, if I have all this probability, that's going to equals to 1. And to find this, because I'm interested, okay, I'm interested in this probability over here. So I'm just going to take 1 minus this, which will automatically give me this probability. So that's the alternative way that I can do. Take the probability of 1, that's the maximum probability, minus the probability of lose and lose. So if you minus with that, you will get the probability of either team wins at least once, which will give you 0.92 straight away. Okay, so that's how we do our independent event. All right.